Due to the collaboration between the University of South Carolina and Bordeaux Montaigne, 4 of their students gathered all their knowledge to work on a case together.
So my name is Geoffrey. I'm a student at the University of Bordeaux Montaigne and a member of this case study group.
I'm Louise Vieira, and I'm currently following a professional bachelor's degree in international development of SMEs at the University of Bordeaux Montaigne in France.
Hi, I am Agathe Giroul. I am 20 years old and I live in a small village next to Bordeaux in France.
Hello, my name is Ethan Robinson. I'm a junior at the University of South Carolina, majoring in integrated information technology.
In terms of strengths and job duties, we all had to answer questions about our case subject, which is too much information. In this presentation, we will confront both French and American viewpoints related to the notion of TMI. We will answer 4 questions about it, and finally we will share our thoughts and personal feelings about this collaboration. When we spend a lot of time at work, it can slip into a habit to share too much information with the coworkers instead of your friends or family, as we confuse our home with the workplace. But this doesn't mean we should never make friends at work, it just means we have to set better boundaries.
So the text related to this topic, take for example an employee who mentioned to his colleague that he was training for 20 miles bike race and also described shaving his whole body to reduce aerodynamic drag. It's something that can be misunderstood by the coworkers and seen as too much, which is a great example to talk about the notion of TMI, which means too much information. It's an expression indicating that someone has revealed information that is too personal and made the listener or reader uncomfortable.
The next related is about French viewpoint. Both viewpoints are pretty similar, as we noticed this type of situation might happen in any company from any country. Most of the time, proximity will depend on the culture of the company and the nature of the relationships we develop there. However, it feels like French coworkers are less likely to share personal details. It is a part of the culture to not open your personal life to everyone. It is uncommon, for example, to find some family photos on a desk in France. French coworkers don't share personal information with coworkers right off the bat. It seems Americans open up to new colleagues more quickly. Indeed, there are less chances to get to the notion of TMI in France, but again, this will mostly depend on the company's ethics.
In terms of the American viewpoint, I would say overall, at least for this team, the viewpoints between the American and the French seem to be pretty similar. We kind of observed that this type of situation could really happen in, most countries. And most of the time, like the kind of information that you can share and how personal you can get with things will probably depend more on the corporate culture itself than necessarily like the country that the company resides in. So for question 1, what benefits and drawbacks arise from sharing information like this? I would say one of the key benefits is that good personal relationships can lead to a healthier workplace overall, and that can lead to increased productivity, which of course improves the bottom line. Conversely, overly personal or controversial opinions can lead to a tense and toxic relationship, and this can severely hamper team synergy and in turn productivity, which again is not really an ideal outcome for a team.
So the second question will be what may be the consequences. So too much information, especially when it's not necessary, irrelevant or awkward, can confuse employees on their job role and make them unsure of where to focus their attention. And communication is essential when it comes to work inside a company, and TMI can be harmful to relations between workers. So it's important to figure out to balance and keep having normal conversation every day without crossing the line of sharing too much information. And it's also important to avoid saying something that can lead to a conflictual climate at work, To illustrate this, for example, if one of your coworkers who believe is your friend may be aiming for the same promotion that you want, if you are providing him personal or compromising information, it could be used against you and played to his advantage.
Now I will answer question 3, how managers should find the intermediary pro-life and personal life. First of all, the managers have to find a work-life balance for their employees. The managers can offer more flexible schedules to enable employees to have time off. If the employees have more free time, they don't share all their life to the other employees. Secondly, employees need to have a private email address and a professional email address to avoid. Thus, they do not mix private information and professional information. Moreover, the workers will be more efficient at work. They will not be tempted to look at their private email address. They will focus on their duty. In the same way, they will not be disturbed by professional messages at home. They will focus on their family life or personal affairs. Finally, managers have to listen to their employees' complaints to thrive and solve problems. They must prevent them from sharing their private lives at work.
Now I will be answering the related question 4, which is for you, what is the right way to ensure a good exchange between employees and remain professional? I think we must not say everything. Some things are made to be private and intimate and cannot be exposed in a professional context, otherwise they can be used against us. But fortunately, there are also beautiful encounters in the professional world. You can obviously make friends, but you have to take the time, gauge, and then adapt yourself. I think you have to trust your feelings because it's the assurance of having no regrets at all. It is also important to clarify your limits when developing a friendly relationship with your colleague. Finding your balance is the key to ensure a good exchange between employees and remain professional. There are some subjects that you should avoid if you want to have a good conversation etiquette, for example, money, religion, politics, love life, family issues, health problems, negative feelings about work, boss, or colleagues.
So lastly, for me, my thoughts on the collaboration is that it was definitely a fun experience to be able to talk to people from a different country that, I haven't talked to anyone from before. I've never been to France. I don't know any French at all. It was enjoyable just being able to talk to people and kind of, learn like how perspectives and cultures can be different in another country, but also, similar enough at the same time, which is an interesting kind of thing to think about. It was a nice project to work on, and it's interesting to see how different cultures, where you live can kind of influence your perspective on various things in life, which, is interesting because if you think about it, where you live can really influence how you develop and the kind of person you are. Would I be the same person if I was originally from France? That kind of thing. But all in all, I enjoyed the collaboration and hope that my team members feel the same.
I personally really enjoyed being a part of this team because from the start we were really open to each other, and every time that we had to say something, we could just send a text on our WhatsApp group. And it was a great experience to get to know someone from actually outside of our country, outside of France, because we're 3 students from France, and it was a really great experience to have an international collaboration with someone from South Carolina because we got to know more about him. It was a great exchange from the start.
The collaboration with a student at South Carolina University allowed me to discover people I would never met and to deal with international topics such as trade. And talking with foreign people is the best way to be more open-minded and discover new cultures. Sharing ideas with them helps to find answers to some international problems.
So my opinion on this collaboration is very positive. We easily enter in contact with each other. The work environment was great. We also talked about a lot of diverse subjects about your countries, and I learned a lot of things by this way. So it was a nice experience for me.
We don't really have other comparisons to this case study because we think that overall this subject, the notion of TMI can be applied in any context, in any company, from any country. So this is kind of a general opinion that we have on this subject. Thank you. This was our presentation of the Too Much Information case study in collaboration between the University of Bordeaux Montaigne and the University of South Carolina. I hope you enjoyed to listen to it as much as we loved to work on it.